Today I'm going to be talking to you about how I went from $0 in income while I was still active duty in the military to $100,000 in income part-time my first year in entrepreneurship. And I got licensed in the financial industry, and the reason why I chose the financial industry is because my dad passed away while I was still active duty, and he passed no money on to my family, and having a wife and kids and myself, legacy was so important to me. So I'm going to talk to you about first how I got licensed. I was introduced to the financial industry. I had to attain a state license. It cost me roughly $500 in the state of California, and that allowed me to partner with over 30 different Fortune 500 companies to offer their products and services to the marketplace. Once I was able to do that, then you ask yourself, how am I going to get my first client? How am I going to start producing income? I realized I went to my phone and I had 600 contacts inside of my phone, and I realized three things. Number one, is that unfortunately out of all 600 of those people, every single one of them are going to pass away at some point in their life. But the unfortunate thing is that only 2% of Americans are going to pass on substantial wealth to the next generation. And I realized that out of all 600 of those people, they would be happy to pass on a legacy to the next generation. And number two, I realized that out of all 600 of those people, that only 5% of Americans are truly on track to achieving financial independence inside of their life. So I realized that people need help achieving their financial goals for retirement. And number three, I also realized that most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans would be happy if they had more money in the bank and had more money for retirement. So I realized that I had an opportunity for the very first time in my life to solve three of the most important problems in people's lives. Number one, passing away and not passing on a legacy to the next generation for their bloodline. Number two, retirement and not having enough money to live their dream lifestyle. And number three, not having enough income when it comes down to living your daily life. People deserve to live their dream lifestyle. So once I understood those three things, I realized that I had a market of 600 people to offer products and services to that was going to help them get closer to their financial goals. Because financial literacy is not something that is taught inside of schools. It was never taught to me my 9 years while active duty in the military. And people in corporate jobs are not taught how to properly fund their retirement accounts or how to properly get to retirement goals. So with that being said, I realized that I now had an opportunity, and I only owe people two things inside of life. Number one, I owe them that opportunity. I owe them the opportunity to let them know that there's things out there and there's services out there and there's people that are out there that are willing to help them. And number two, I just owe them an example. If I can be the example for these individuals to show them that you have an opportunity to live your dream lifestyle if you know exactly what you're doing and you're investing your money into the right products and services. So I just want to let all of you know that there's an opportunity out there for every single one of you to help people attain financial freedom and independence inside of their life. And right now, more than ever, we're in what's called the largest wealth transfer in history. So although finance has already been the highest paid industry in the world, and it's already been the industry that's created the most millionaires, now more than ever, people need your help more than any other time in history. There's around 80% of the US population that is retiring. That's a baby boomer generation. There's about $84 trillion of wealth that's transferring from the baby boomer generation to the next generation. And there needs to be somebody in that process that's going to be able to transfer that wealth. And that's every single one of you in this room. That's every single one of you who's in the process of getting licensed or already licensed in the industry. So if you can focus on all of those things, you as well can go from $0 in income to $100,000 part-time while you're still active duty in the military, while you're still working inside of your corporate job. But understand that the income that you make is just a byproduct of the families that you've been able to impact in the process.